welcome back to Hear2Listen podcast. My name's Steph and I'm here with Sam.
Hi.
Hello, Sam. And I'm here with Emily.
Hello.
Hello, Emily. So I'm not going to lie, guys. If you are listening, then we are all going to be talking about vaginas, how we're feeling.
Disclaimer.
Yeah,
So.
PMT. Like, we're going to just go in on that. For me, I had a really, really rubbish night's sleep. I was up at the crack of dawn, like literally like 4 o'clock in the morning. And the past 2 days, I've been like probably a bit moody. My boobs are hurting. Like, I'm borderline going to come on my period, but it's killing me. And I'm having hot flushes and yeah, it's just rubbish.
Well, we told you it was going to be open and honest. That's the way to go. Let's go in.
Yeah, why not? Like,
no, to be fair, why not be honest? We were talking about, do we even do this sort of topic? But actually, yeah, we do, because it's such a taboo topic and it really doesn't need to be. 50% of the population's female, and then of those, like almost all of them have already started puberty. Mm-hmm. So yeah, everyone's doing it.
And everyone's just so different as well. That
yeah, definitely.
Something that if they hear it, it's something they know that they're not going through it alone.
Yeah. Yeah, like I struggle every single month with mine. I don't actually, I say that. Like, I know there's other people out there that really, really struggle and they're like, oh my God, I hate having a period and stuff. Like, I actually don't mind having a period, but I think for me, I suffer with migraines as well. So the build up to 2 days ago, I've literally today, touch wood's the first day that I haven't actually woke up with a continuous headache and having to take like 10 ibuprofen in 24 hours. It's too many tablets. Yeah. And I hate relying on stuff like that. Like, I don't take the pill or anything like that. I have a consistent period every month, but I actually don't mind it when it's here. I'm on my period for like 3-4 days max. No issue.
I used to suffer
It's the
bad.
build up the week before. It's like a period for this week and a period for that week. Like, it's like 2 weeks of my life.
But they're different, aren't they? So you have all your headaches, the moodiness, all of that comes before your actual period.
Yeah,
and then when you're on your
definitely.
period, it is literally just the blood, basically.
Yeah. See, I'm the same now.
Yeah.
I never used to be. I used to be in agony all the way through as well.
Yeah.
But now it's, the build up. I get headache, migraines, tiredness, moodiness. And then once I'm on, fine, done.
So I guess I was similar. I've got a before and sort of after story, if you like. My before is that I was in absolute agony every single month. Like you, like a couple of days before at least, all the way through. It was really painful. And then I had my after sort of story, if you like, is that I then started the pill and I haven't had a period since, which is, well, no, I have obviously had odd periods here and there, but I don't have a period every month, which is ideal.
Are you on the pill constantly, or do you have to come off it for a certain week? Because I know sometimes off a week.
No, mine's continuous. Mine's a continuous pill.
Oh, it just stops your periods.
It happens to stop my periods. It's
right.
not one that's like it will definitely stop your periods, but everyone that I've spoken to, it does for them.
Done the same.
But
so.
yeah,
that's like the implant. When I had the implant, I had no periods whatsoever,
which is absolute bliss. Because you said that you don't mind yours. I literally, not just the pain, like even if it didn't come with any pain at all, I hate periods. I actually just hate them. I just find them really inconvenient.
Yeah, I get like I do like think, oh God, women, we do suffer, definitely.
Definitely.
And
I love that we're talking about as women. Yeah, 3 women in the room, we suffer really hard.
But we do. As young women, I find that we do suffer for a big period of time in our lives, because we have this massive build up, we have the periods for X amount of years, and then we go through the menopause. Yeah. And it's like, bam.
Yeah, it is.
Now
it is
there's more
inconsistency.
And I know people that are going through the menopause and they don't have the best time on it either. They have to experience hot flushes, and
hot flushes sound the worst.
And
this is what I mean. They're not
as
actually
well.
that bad. Let's be honest. Like getting hot isn't like any like real amount of pain or anything like that. But I just find it so inconvenient. That's exactly how I feel about periods. Though it's literally just something that I just I could definitely live without.
I think with hot flushes as well. I think if you're in a meeting, for example, as a professional person, and then all of a sudden you're bright red and starting to sweat profusely. I know, like my stepmom, she literally drips from head to toe, whereas some women don't suffer like that, but actually she does, and it's pure embarrassment.
Yeah, it is really awkward. And
But
and it's hard for them to be able to
it's
do anything
harder as well if you're not open and honest about it. Well, actually, I'm really sorry, but I'm going through the menopause, and but a lot of women out there don't talk about this
they're
stuff,
not
and
sort
they
of
feel
confident.
that actually no, this shouldn't be spoke about when actually it should.
Yeah, no, it definitely should. The
definitely.
whole topic. And I was thinking about I was thinking a little bit about how much education goes into sort of, I guess it's sex education, it'd come under that talk or what have you. But actually, how much education do boys get about periods and the menopause and what have you?
Well, nothing.
I bet
think
it's none.
A lot of them are still quite embarrassed to speak about it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like if you ask the lads here, we're going to do a podcast about periods. You want to come on with us? They would shy away from it. Of course they would, because one, they haven't got the frame of reference, but also I think they find it icky. Ultimately, I think that is the word they do.
They've had to experience it.
Yeah.
As a male, they don't need to experience it.
No, the only bit they
just-
do experience will be the mood swings or whatever
Yes.
from whoever they know. So I just wonder whether boys get enough education in. Is actually really normal. Like, it's not icky. It's normal.
then
It's natural. It's
It makes me question: do girls get enough education?
Yeah, no, I
they
was
know
thinking
what
that
they're
as well.
doing. They know how to cope with having a period, but actually, do you know it's okay that you can talk about it with your friends, and it's not something to be embarrassed about?
and actually, do you get to know about it before it starts, or do you have that awkward moment when you're like, well, for this day and age, they would be straight on Google. I think I've started my period.
Well, not only that, is they're getting younger. The girls are getting younger as they start. So what age do they bring it in now?
Yeah, I don't know actually. I was trying to think back about like when I first started. I don't remember when that was, and lots of people have a story, don't they? Like Steph, you were saying that you actually do have a story. I'm sure you'll share. It's been very open so far. So,
Absolutely.
So people have stories, don't they? And I don't remember mine, which must say that it was kind of non-eventful, like nothing really happened. And I can't remember how old I was roughly. I would guess about 13, but it
I
would
was
be
12,
a guess.
So I was quite young, I think.
Yeah, I think I was between 10 and 11. I know that
even
because
younger.
yeah, I was really because my dad had just moved into a house with his new partner.
Oh, here is the story.
Oh,
here it
is the
comes.
story, people. And it was like my first time of like staying over there and being a part of their life for the weekend. So it was quite a lot of pressure anyway. And I was over there, everything was quite, I did have really, really bad stomachache throughout the day, and I just thought, I'm going to have diarrhea. And I thought that was my main problem. I was going to have the raging diarrhea in their toilet. And I'm really funny about where I go to the toilet. So for me, that was like, oh my God, like maybe like when they go to bed, like I can just go, but it didn't ease off, but I didn't need the loo. And then I woke up in the morning and I thought, I've wet the bed. And I thought, oh my God, like I've wet the bed. Like I was so embarrassed. But I got up, went to the toilet, and I noticed that the white duvet, obviously, it was literally just covered in red blood. And I was just like, no.
But
what
you
am I
knew
gonna
what was
do?
happening.
I knew what it was straight away because I had learnt about it in school, which was fine. And there was a few of my friends that had started their period. But again, back then, like it wasn't spoke about in my friendship group, a circle. It was like, oh yeah, so-and-so had started a period. And it was like, oh
yeah.
God, she started a period.
No, that's exactly how it is. I used to work at a primary school, and so we were talking about age, but the year sixes, we had this red box basically that they could come and ask for the red box if they'd just started their period or whatever. They needed some, all the pads or what have you. Everything was in there. And it definitely was like gossip on the playground. So-and-so started their period. They had the red box out today, blah, blah, blah. It's like, right, you'll be... wait for it because it's coming.
Yeah, see, I don't remember none of that at school. I don't.
Do you know?
Did you tell any of your friends that you had started your period?
No. It was just sort of like the norm, I suppose, with our group, because a couple of my friends were quite young as well.
Yeah.
So we just didn't feel the
Never
need.
ever
It
talked
spoke
about
about
it.
who hadn't started.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah, I remember we would say like so-and-so, they still haven't started this period.
It's so weird that it's talked about like that though, because you have absolutely zero control over it.
Yeah.
Like it's not
No,
like,
and-
oh God, they're being so slow.
I do remember this girl in school.
Yeah.
We were in science, and anyway, she got off her stool and like sort of like sat forward a bit, and there was blood on the seat.
Oh no.
And immediately there's a couple of girls that just was like, oh, started your period, bled on the seat, like give it the big one. But there was a few people, even a couple of the lads were like, actually don't do that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But we were in like year 10 by that point. It
Oh,
weren't
okay.
even- she was really late. And it was sad, but I think in today's society, people don't do that anymore, I don't think.
What, call each other out?
Yeah.
Do you not think?
Not about a period, I don't think.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I've seen like videos on the internet or whatever where someone's clearly like come on, whether they've started or it's come on for them or whatever, and someone said, oh, by the way, you need to change your skirt or whatever because they've noticed it. But I don't know whether that's actually real or whether actually a year 10 would be like, or maybe younger, maybe year 10's a bit old, but maybe
because we're
younger.
not with them. We don't really see that with
we're
that
just
age.
not that generation, are we anymore?
I'd like to think that actually it's a normal sort of thing. Like I see it as a normal thing, and I am quite open anyway, and I'm like, definitely come on my period this morning. Like it's a
you'll tell anyone.
I'll come into work and I say to you, don't I, like, have you come on yet? Because we're sort of
kind
in
of
sync.
synced,
And normally the women that you're actually around the most,
no, definitely
you do, and we're normally a week or two now apart.
We used to be like a couple of days, and now it's kind of I'm very irregular, so now we're about a week apart, I think.
Okay.
We can time it.
It's literally like you've got a calendar.
It used to be literally a couple of days apart. Like, I've come on.
I'll be like, I'm due on.
Yeah, that's how we knew. I never used to really track it.
No, actually, when I first started, that was a thing. Like that was actually a thing, like tracking your periods. I don't know whether that was. I think that was a sort of a medical thing. Like you should track your periods,
I have to
especially
now.
at the beginning.
Yeah. I do now because of the medication I'm on. I'm like every 32 days.
Oh, okay.
Then I can go a month.
What's your medication for?
Polycystic ovaries. Right. So I can have a period 1 month, skip a month, period, skip a month. And so I kind of track it so I can make sure I'm having it every month.
Right.
Which it is all.
How long have you had polycystic ovaries?
Oh
I can't. That's a word none of us can say, isn't it?
Like polycystic.
Is it polycystic?
Yes. Polycystic.
What does it mean?
It's cysts on the ovaries, but on the inside. So you can have cysts on the outside, which can be removed, but mine are on the inside, so which they can't be removed. No, so it's treated with metformin, which is a diabetes treatment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it just regulates the periods and balances hormones out.
Okay, and that stops the cysts from getting worse or what have you?
It's due
Is that the idea?
Yeah, balances the hormones out, so then you have your periods, which then stops the cysts from forming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I don't know how long.
Do you have to?
That's 21. It's a long time.
Oh yeah. Do you have to go for like regular checkups of them, like a scan or anything like that, so they keep track of it?
At the beginning, I did, like every 6 months. Yeah. But then I haven't had one.
Do they cause you any upset throughout?
Oh, they caused me terrible upset. I was in so much pain each month. Like a period. That's what I was going to say. Within schools, you may learn about periods, but you don't learn how they could be on like the worst case. So I don't know what flow is like with your guys. Like heavy. Some people have heavy, some people have light.
No, see, like my first day, I'm normally pretty heavy, and I'll change very regular. But then as it gets to sort of like day 2 and 3, mine's like
yours is coming to an end.
Definitely.
Yes. That's how mine is. So for example, I went into the hospital for some surgery and was in there for longer than I expected, which meant I didn't have my pill with me. So for 3 days, I couldn't take my pill. And that's all it took for me to be like, nah, your body's like, nope, you're having one this month. So I had one. I was so frustrated, obviously. But because I hadn't had one for so long, it was so heavy, like ridiculously heavy.
But that's what they don't teach you, is that it's normal to be
But that's
heavy.
still okay,
Yeah, because I used to be in so much pain and it would be clotty and heavy, and I was thinking, oh my god, what is going on? Like I never understood it.
You've made a good point there, actually, because I do think when I was younger, I used to have a lot heavier periods than what I do now, and it must be just an age thing.
Yeah, it must be.
And when I first saw like blood clotting, it sounds very gory and stuff, and I'm being very open about it, but is what it is.
But it is what it is.
Yeah,
exactly that.
When I first saw that clotting, I had to look up what it was.
Yeah,
because it was like, oh my god, like I've definitely.
Is that a clot now? Like that's bad.
That is not right. When actually it's very, very normal, and it happens all the time. But
then you say that you'd have had to look that up, but actually we weren't of that generation where we could look up. So what would you have done? Like, would you have had to speak to somebody?
Yeah,
or?
no, I think I did speak to somebody at that time.
I don't think I did.
Would you just dealt got over it? And
so
was like,
it didn't. I think my periods like that sort of started probably when I was like 19.
Right.
And then I'd sort of got on with it, and I think I spoke to a friend, and they said, "Oh yeah, I've had that as well." So then I was kind of relaxed a bit. Yeah. But then when I got diagnosed at 21. And there was like, one of the symptoms is this each month, and I was like, yes.
Right.
And they was like, okay, that's common.
Light bulb
and I was like, I understand now.
But it's so frustrating that it took you to get to 21. So you started, you said 12.
Yeah, but it wasn't always that bad. It was only probably when, I think the cyst probably started forming when I was about 19, which made it worse.
Oh, but even so, a couple of years before you get that diagnosis and get that answer to why it might have been the way it was for you, that's quite a long time, I think.
It is a long time.
But then because periods are so different for everybody, I can see why it would be hard for a doctor to diagnose anything about anybody's periods that would be unusual. Yeah. Because they are so different for everybody. Like you say, light flow, heavy flow.
Yeah, and that's what I think isn't taught and isn't spoken about.
I think you're right.
Would be handy, really. Because if I knew that, I'd be like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, I do remember in school, like, when they used to speak about what to use, they'd say, like, oh, for a heavier flow, then use a thicker pad. Yeah. Stuff like I do remember that, but it wasn't necessarily, like, if you're really heavy, it could cause clotting, it could do this. Yeah. I don't remember any of that, when actually it's all very normal stuff.
I don't remember ever being taught like I do. I guess I must have had conversations with like my mum, for example, about sanitary towels, the difference between towels and tampons, and there is so much choice.
There's so much out there.
I watched a funny video actually, or a meme or something, where I think a daughter asked their dad to go and just go to the supermarket, get me some tampons basically, and he was like, which ones? And she was like, always, and he was like, yeah, but which ones always? Like, there's literally so many. There is. So. I don't think that's not told about either, is it really?
I think it's quite common for girls to tell their dads about that they started a period. I did. My dad was the first one that knew about me.
Yeah, you mentioned that to me and I was shocked, if I'm honest, because I don't think it's... Well, I'm not saying it's not normal. I think it's more common, I think, to speak to my mum, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah, I've always had a close relationship with mum, but soon I just rang my dad up. But I lived with my dad. But yet my mum lived literally around the corner.
Yeah, so you still could have got to your mum, couldn't you? But you didn't.
I just phoned my dad up. Maybe I just thought I wouldn't get as many questions.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, he would just be like, okay, hang on.
Yeah, maybe. That is weird to think about who you'd go to. So you talked a lot about, did you speak to friends? So that must have been who you sort of...
The lady I lived with, obviously I went home and was just like, I've started my period. And she was like, it's fine, like, we'll sort you out, blah, blah, blah. Like, got me what I needed, everything like that. And my dad phoned me that night and was like... Because I literally pulled the covers back and...
Oh, yeah, you didn't finish your story.
I literally was petrified. I was like, I thought they're brand new white bedding and I've ruined it. I just put the covers up and I was like, I want to go home.
So your stepmom must have come in the next day like, oh, she's gone home. Okay, I'll change the bedding, to like an absolute murder scene on the bed.
That's quite brutal. I suppose. A little bit. It weren't like... that'd have been great though. No, it won't. No, he then phoned me and was like, did you start your period? I was like, yeah. He was like, are you all right? Like, yeah. Okay, cool.
Enough of that.
So you shut him down?
Yeah, I didn't need... Yeah, great, he knew. And he was like, don't worry about it. You should have said. I was like, yeah, that's enough. See you later. But I had somebody that I could actually turn to and I had stuff that I needed. And what I was going to bring up was actually, in school, I remember it so clearly. If you wore a sanitary towel... A lot of the girls that I knew were like, you're wearing a nappy, like you should wear a tampon. Yeah. And it's a real judgy type of...
And I think there was...
You don't wear a tampon?
Yeah, no, but there...
No.
Yeah, but there was also this like... Because I think it's generally you start using sanitary towels. I think that is general, isn't it? I would say that's across the board, sort of when you first start 11, 12, 13...
tampons
are invasive ultimately.
Yeah, because they have to be inside of you. Yeah,
rather than definitely started with towels. And
towels.
I think if I had a daughter, it'd be the same sort of process as well.
Like, definitely. Like you say, it's something that has to actually go in. And I remember when I did start, I did use towels. And then I was a little bit scared of using a tampon because of like toxic shock.
Yeah, I remember that everyone talked about that.
That was addressed in school, wasn't it? So that scared me a little bit.
Assemblies, weren't it?
Yeah, all the girls were in there like,
but it was really drastic when they set like a time. I can't even remember what that time was now. Like how long they're allowed to be in there for.
I remember thinking 6 hours. Like, that's when I was like, you can't sleep in it because if you sleep in it, you're gonna get really ill.
Which isn't necessarily true. But
I would say it's only been over the last 5 years that I've actually used tampons.
Oh really?
Yeah, I haven't used them like.
I was just trying to work out your age and how long like you've been using.
30.
Yeah, no, I know. So for a good 10 years you were on towels before you then went to tampons.
Yeah, I had tried a tampon before, but it just wasn't comfortable for me.
Oh really?
Yeah, I just couldn't get on with it.
Towels.
But then
I really don't mind either way.
Do you not?
Never use a towel now. A game changer.
No.
And I have to use the compact pearl ones. I can't use like the cardboard inserted ones. I can't use the one without the inserter.
Other tampons are available, guys.
At Sainsbury's, Asda's, Tesco's. Sometimes.
Morrison's.
Great subject. I'm just about to throw it in there. Why do we have to pay for them?
Yeah, that is a big thing, isn't
Yeah.
it? Period poverty, they call it, don't they? So young girls that can't afford necessarily to buy sanitary products and
ever
things
have
like
to
that.
pay for them.
Because there's
personally.
nothing the boys have to pay for.
They get free condoms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Why don't we get-
yeah.
So
Well, I mean, we get
should.
free contraceptive. But even so, but
Yeah.
there's nothing the boys, they go through their puberty, which I definitely don't know enough about. Again, we weren't taught about boys' puberty in the
No.
same way that they're not taught about
It was
us.
all separated. It really was.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? But they don't have anything like that. I don't think. They have wet dreams or whatever, but that's it.
Do you know what?
There's
I
nothing.
think it'd be really, really good to actually us three hold a pod with
Yeah.
a couple of the lads
Yeah,
and talk about their experience. I think there's a couple of boys that I could put from our other podcast
yeah.
that will happily speak about their childhood and how
Puberty and
puberty
how it
went
affected
through
them.
with them.
Yeah.
And we can ask them questions, they can ask us questions. I think that'd be a great show.
Yeah.
we definitely
love
do
that.
They wanted to jump on anyway. So.
Yeah, I think it would be wicked.
Yeah, because it isn't talked about enough. And you're right. So going back to what we were talking about before, we shouldn't have to pay for them.
No.
It is a real thing, isn't it? I think there's a lot of.
I think it will change.
Do
I
you-
think
do you
'cause
think
there's
there
quite
will be a
lot
law
of-
around
quite
it?
a lot of loudness around it at the moment, isn't there? So I do
Yeah.
think it will change.
I think the difficulty is that it's corporated now, isn't it? There's so many corporate, always, and there's other brands.
I
that
think
we've
it'll be
sort of
like
discussed.
The most cheapest, basic sort of options available for free, and then if you have a preference, then that's when you pay for it.
Yeah, maybe. I
So
don't know
at
how
least
it'd
then you have
work,
the option
like,
for the ones that can't afford to pay for the ones they like.
yeah,
Everyone is provided for.
provided with something.
You'd hope so, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just going to touch back on your polycystic. I can't say the word. Your
Say
ovaries.
PCOS.
PCOS.
Oh, I thought it was like police. Then I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Was there struggles for you? Obviously, you've got a son.
Yeah.
You've got Cameron. Was there a struggle for you to conceive with Cameron prior to that?
Yeah, so I actually got told that I wasn't ovulating.
Oh,
Yes, I
really?
wasn't fertile. So because my periods are so regular and with the cysts, they wasn't producing the right shape and stuff, which means I wouldn't be able to conceive. So we
Right.
went through for IVF, and then we went through one round of IVF and was very successful first time.
Bish bosh, really? First
yeah,
time?
first time,
Wow.
literally. We was very lucky with it. We went through it so quickly. But I don't think I really registered how big of a deal it was, because I was still going horse riding. I went gorge walking while injecting myself with like these hormones. I was just up in
Right.
Wales doing what I wanted to do,
Just,
just carrying on. And it was like,
I think
Yeah.
you're very like that as a person
Mm.
anyway. When you've gone through previous experiences, which I'm sure we'll come across in future pods, it's like, no, I'm just going full steam ahead.
Yeah.
This is. I'm still carrying on with my life.
mhm.
I think,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
have you always wanted kids?
Yeah, I've always wanted a child.
So-
It wasn't till I was with Daniel that we decided we wanted to try.
Yeah.
But then I found out I couldn't, because I had been diagnosed with polycystic ovaries, and they said it's very unlikely.
Yeah.
We tried different medications, but not for long. My doctors were very open, just like, right, go straight for IVF. So
Oh,
they
okay.
sort of pushed us straight for it.
I guess they must have
Um,
known that ultimately those routes would probably
It's
not lead to what
more
you
likely
wanted.
not going to lead to anywhere. So he just put me
Yeah.
straight for it. We went to see the site, and literally that day we went to the viewing. We got to walk around and sort of feel if that's the one we want to go to. He said, he was like, whereabouts are you on your cycle? And I told him, I think I was day 21. And he
Yeah.
was like, okay, start next week.
Oh, okay.
That was it. And it was like, okay then.
Ah.
Yeah, but my friend, well, a girl I know that was going through it at the same time, she's still going through it.
Yeah,
So
IVF is
not
such a
everyone has
tricky-
it as easy as
No,
I've
no.
had it, and I'm very lucky that I've had it that easy for myself.
Yeah, no, don't beat yourself up. Don't beat
That's
yourself up about it. Like,
Yeah,
you ultimately deserved
Yeah.
your chance, and it was just you were lucky enough to get it quicker than
I
what
think-
others did.
yeah,
Yeah, and it's
definitely.
okay because you do acknowledge the fact that you were lucky with that. It's not,
And you
it
had
is
your
what it is.
struggles, and now that
Yeah.
you got Cameron, and
Yeah. Handful.
It's great.
Yeah.
Look at
great.
you. Yeah, that's all you
Karate
need to say.
Right off in the head the other day.
Yeah.
no, that's awesome. I do think that we should combine ours,
Yeah,
the
with the
lads
lads. Let's get
and-
some lads in.
get that figured out. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, no,
Definitely
definitely.
come back for like a part 2.
definitely. Let's
Part
keep
two,
it as a
carry
part
on.
part one.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to hear from anyone that is watching, if anyone's watching.
Yeah.
But anyone who's watching to
No,
put
no
something in
one's
the comments and just make it not taboo and sort of share your story,
share your
we've all shared
experiences.
ours and
Yeah.
and it really doesn't matter. So
No, definitely.
yeah, let's hear from
female
everyone.
goes through it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, before
Perfect,
we
let's
wrap
wrap it
up, you can listen to us on Anchor, Spotify, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Google Podcasts. But that's from us, and we've been here to listen.
Yay.